Hey Nick, what's up? Hey there, I'm Dave Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, and today, me and Nick here are going to show you 10 more artifacts you may not know about in Magic the Gathering. Let's check it out. First artifact we're going to take a look at is the Ankh of Mishra. This is going way back from a revised. It's a 2-cost artifact, and it does 2 damage to anyone who puts a new land in play. Great to maybe slow down some of those landfall decks. And here's a classic of Magic, the Howling Mine. It's another 2-cost artifact. I love cheap artifacts because they're fast to get out, and this is one of those ones that's really helpful at the beginning of the game, but also it helps your opponent, because each player must draw 1 extra card during the draw phase of each of his or her turns. Again, classic card. Fun card to have, fun card to have. Oh man, and look at this, more old school. Nevinril's Disc, a 4-cost artifact. And for 1, destroys all creatures, enchantments, and artifacts in play, including the disc itself. The disc begins tapped, but it can be untapped as usual. Now, Nevinril is actually Larry Niven spelled backwards, and they say that this disc was actually in one of his books, and then a designer liked it so much, they put it in the game. Now from Worldwake, we have the Basilisk Collar. It only costs 1 colorless mana. It's a piece of equipment that gives the creature that has it equipped Death Touch and Lifelink, and then you can equip it to another creature for 2. And I think at one time this card was really known and sought after. I think it's kind of fallen by the wayside, and a lot of people don't really know about it right now. But this is definitely a good card to have in just about any deck, I think. Next up, we have Sculpting Steel. It's a 3-cost artifact originally from Mirrodin, but also saw reprints in additional sets like this one from 10th edition. And as it comes into play, you can choose an artifact in play, and if you do, Sculpting Steel comes into play as a copy of that artifact permanently. And it doesn't have to be yours, it can be anybody's, a copy of anybody's artifact. And I don't think this one gets quite enough love as it should, and I think it's a really good one, and I love using this card. Sculpting Steel is great. If I'm playing a lot of artifacts, I usually got 1 or 2 Sculpting Steels in there. And what could you copy with Sculpting Steel? A Metalworker from Urza's Destiny. This is a 3-cost artifact creature. He's a 1/2, and you tap him to reveal any number of artifact cards in your hand. And then you add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool for each card revealed in this way. Man, when Metalworker dropped, this made artifact decks super awesome to play. I've got a play set. You should have a play set. And while you're at it, throw an extra Sculpting Steel or 2 in there. This is awesome. Metalworker is an excellent card. Legendary nowadays, I might add. It's a legendary card. Speaking of legendary cards, not true legendary cards, but just legendary in Magic circles, would probably be the Staff of Domination, because people would often pair it with the Metalworker. It's a 3-cost artifact, and it has several different abilities. 1, you can untap the Staff of Domination. 2, untap, gain a life. 3, untap, untap target creature. 4, untap, tap target creature. Or 5, untap to draw a card. This card has abuse written all over it. Next, from Mirrodin, we actually have an uncommon, Isochron Scepter, a 2-cost artifact. It has Imprint, and when Isochron Scepter comes into play, you may remove an instant with a converted mana cost 2 or less in your hand from the game. And for 2 untap, you can copy the imprinted instant card and play the copy without paying its mana cost. So, I don't know, Lightning Bolt, Counterspell, and there's a ton of other instants that you could put on this thing. Isochron Scepter is normally called the Stick, so like Bolt on a stick, Counterspell on a stick, but I'm actually really underselling it because there's a lot of other cool instants that you could put on this thing and just totally own your opponent with. Here we have Scroll Rack, another well-known card in Magic circles if you've been playing for a while, and this is a 2-cost artifact. And for 1 untap, you can choose any number of cards in your hand and set those cards aside. You put an equal number of cards from the top of your library into your hand, and then you put the cards set aside in this way on top of your library in any order. What a great card to use. I gotta tell you, at first it doesn't seem very powerful, but it is, and also it's got a price to match. Even though a lot of cards on these lists are a little more well-known, a little more expensive, they're definitely worth seeking out and getting at least a copy of. And no artifact list would be complete without the infamous Soul Ring, going all the way back to the days of Alpha Beta, and this particular Soul Ring is from Revised. It's a 1-cost artifact that when it comes into play, you can tap it to add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Soul Ring is an awesome card, and you can actually still pick up Revised copies relatively cheap. Plus, also too, they're constantly reprinting it. I think it's probably hovering around anywhere from $4 to $6, depending on where you get it at and which version you're getting. Definitely affordable to pick up, and there's no reason for you to have one in just about every deck. All right, that's all me and Nick Bolas here. That's all we've got for today. Thanks again for stopping by and checking out our video. Be sure to subscribe, like if you haven't already, check out our other playlists, and who knows, you might find something else you like. And again, I'm Dave Hunt, owner of GameMasters Guild, telling you to stay safe, play great games, and I'll see you real soon.